Hello there, Amanda here. I have a bit of a sore throat today, so I'm going to try to keep this kind of short. I've noticed a lot of videos going up in the homeschool channels that I frequent for the Q1 updates. How are we already here? I can't believe that the school year has already been in session this long, but it has, in fact, and I guess it's time to do an update. So this is my first update like this. I guess what people usually do is talk about where they're at in their curriculum and if they changed anything, stopped using anything, started using something new, something wasn't working or whatever. So that's sort of what I'm going to go over today. When we started the school year, we were using The Good and the Beautiful's Language Arts Level 1, and we're still using that. We are about halfway through it, actually, because we kind of started early with that. We're in like the 60s lesson-wise, and we were doing The Good and the Beautiful's Math Level 2, but we also had Horizons Math Level 2, just because my daughter maybe needed to try something different. Well, we only made it through about the first 7 lessons from Horizons, and my daughter doesn't like the way that it's set up. It's boring, and I'll actually show you. So my daughter's 5. She's quite advanced in some areas, I think, so she picks up things really easily, and she's been very strong with math. But even though she can figure out the answers to everything and she can pick up on concepts quite easily, things like this, that's way too much for her. And this was the very next page that we were supposed to do. Yeah, this was lesson 8. And the way Horizons is done is you do the front and back of one page is a lesson, and then you move on to the next lesson. There's no way she could do this. She could maybe do like 5 of these. So we kind of stopped using that very quickly because we realized that it just wasn't set up the way that my daughter needed. It's okay. I'll hold on to it. Maybe we'll use it in the future. So, but we are still using The Good and the Beautiful's Math Level 2. We kind of moved around and tried a couple different things and took it very slow. So we're only on about lesson 25 or 26, I believe. But that's okay, because she doesn't hate every lesson that we do anymore. So I think that's progress. We did do a couple lessons of raise arithmetic, and it's good. It's good, but it's not as engaging. And while I think that's okay, I don't think she needs to fully, enjoy every second of doing math. Sometimes you just have to learn things because you need to learn them. I want her to enjoy math, especially since she's doing math that's quite ahead of her age right now. I think it's most important that she still enjoys it rather than, trying to push her too hard and then she stops enjoying it. And then I ruin her love of math for the rest of her life or whatever. So we're still going to push through with The Good and the Beautiful Level 2. This is the old Level 2 that they've discontinued. So moving forward, I'm thinking that we probably will continue to go with The Good and the Beautiful. When we finish this, move on to Level 3 in their new line of math. We also were doing no handwriting. I have handwriting from The Good and the Beautiful, but we weren't actually going to use it regularly, and that's okay. She doesn't love handwriting. So we kind of just do things here and there from wherever we can get them. Sometimes her language arts curriculum will have her do some handwriting, just like, finish the word or write a sentence or whatever. and that's enough handwriting for her for the day. She doesn't do well with handwriting. But her handwriting is very good, so I don't feel the need to really push it at all. I mean, her handwriting is probably as good as my handwriting is, or better. The other things that we were working on were core knowledge history and core knowledge science. We have made it through the first 2 units of core knowledge history. That was, what was number 1? Oh, Let's Explore Our World. And then the second unit was Native Americans. We just finished Native Americans, so we have 2 more units to go through. So I think we're doing okay on like pacing wise. And then I made a video on the core knowledge stuff just last week. It went up on my channel, and it's good, and it's working out for us. We're learning, we're enjoying it okay, but it's not my favorite way of teaching. So we're going to continue to use core knowledge for the rest of the year because I have all of the units already purchased, but we might not continue it next year. So for now, though, it is working. It has worked so far. We're going to continue it. Same thing with science. We are actually on Unit 2, which is Needs of Plants and Animals. We finished Unit 1, Pushes and Pulls. So once we're finished with this unit, which is kind of a bigger unit, it's taking us a lot longer to get through, we have actually 3 more units to go through, but I think they're smaller, and the last one is very, very small. So again, I think we're doing pretty good on pacing. We take breaks regularly from science and history just because, like, if we don't have time to get to everything every day, those are not my main priorities. And because we've been really busy lately, we've been taking a lot more breaks the last couple of weeks. Or like, I think last week or the week before, we only did science all week. We didn't do any history lessons just because my daughter asked for science, so we did science. So for those 2 things, we kind of shuffle them around a lot, and some days we don't do them at all, and that's okay. I try to do 1 history lesson, 1 science lesson, 1 history lesson, 1 science lesson, and go back and forth and do 2 lessons from each per week and leave Friday open for other stuff. But I mean, that's happened like maybe every once in a while. That will actually come out and be like the correct schedule. Usually it doesn't. The other things that we've been working on. What else do we say we're like? What were the other plans? Is that it for all the core curriculum, all the core subjects? Math, language arts, science, history, handwriting, maybe. The other thing that we do is the Year in the 100-Acre Wood curriculum. We really love that curriculum. We haven't been doing it. Now, the only reason we haven't been doing it is because I have been so busy. I have personal projects going on that require a lot of my time and attention. So I have been putting some things on the back burner. That happens to be one of them. It's great curriculum. It's not hard or anything. It's just that it requires me to do a little bit more than just opening a book and reading right from the page and having my daughter do all her work on that one page. So again, like with science and history, if we don't have time to get to everything that day, this gets pushed aside. So we do, every day, we do language arts and math because it's just so simple, so easy for me to just pull out the book, read the instructions, and have my daughter do the work. And sometimes because I've just been kind of distracted and we're focusing on some other things, our main goal some days is just to get done. Just get done as quickly as we can. Just finish this so we can move on. And I've been having sort of, not a power struggle with my daughter, but she's growing up and she's getting older and she's realizing, that she wants more independence, and because of that, some days she wants to make up the rules and she wants to decide, well, I actually don't want to do this today and I want to do this and I want to do that. And I tell her, okay, well, we have to do class. That's my rule. We have to get class done. and at least we have to do this and this and this. And if we struggle through it, you know, I don't want to diminish her love of learning. So I try to be careful with it, but if I don't make her do it, she won't ever do it. So we at least get the basic stuff out of the way, and then the extra stuff kind of just sits aside. I don't want to do that because I know that like the enriching stuff, art and music and all that stuff is so good, and she really enjoys it and stuff. But again, some of our days are just, let's get it done so we can move on. I think we did 6 weeks of the curriculum before we took a break. So we did pretty good. We got through a good chunk of it. I don't know. It started to get overwhelming to have so many different things throughout each day. And it didn't take us all day to do everything, but just like looking at my planner or the checklist and realizing, okay, we did this and this and this, and we're counting things off. And I said, okay, we did the first 5 things for the day, we only have 3 left. Like, it just felt like a lot. So because I had other things going on, we've kind of taken a break from some things. I'm planning on starting our Year in the 100 Acre Wood curriculum back up very soon. It's great. We love it. It's our favorite. It's just been something that has had to just slow down, or we wouldn't appreciate it as much as it needed to be appreciated. And the other thing was the under the home curriculum that we were using. We were only using 2 aspects of their curriculum for kindergarten. We were using music and prose. We took a break from music in October because I would play the music selections for each week of October, and my daughter didn't like them because they sounded spooky. And she wouldn't sit down and listen to them. So I was like, okay, we'll just skip these and we'll start back up in November. Well, November came and we just didn't start them back up yet. So we're like in the middle of November now. I think I'm gonna try to start back up this week because I kind of promised I would, but then we had like a horribly busy weekend that I didn't even realize was going to be so busy. I didn't have time to sit down and get things together. So I'm going to try to do that this evening, Monday night, so that for the rest of the week we'll be prepared. And I'm going to try to reincorporate our 100 Acre Wood curriculum under the home curriculum and get everything back on track. I can't believe that we're a quarter through everything right now. It's kind of wild. And actually none of our curriculum needed to be changed really. Like I said, we stopped using Horizons, but we already had other math curriculum too, so it wasn't like I had to give up on that and try to find something new. We already knew that we were doing that. So I think our choices at the beginning of the year were still the right choices, and we're working through them. We actually were very fortunate enough to have a friend who gave us some caterpillar eggs. So we actually just did like a caterpillar butterfly quick mini unit that I came up with myself, and we're finishing it up this week. So it was kind of okay that we weren't doing our other curriculum because we were able to focus more on this particular subject, and that works for me. But I think that's it. I think that's everything that we've worked through up to this point. Every once in a while I'll print off some stuff from, different homeschool moms and different blogs and stuff. I do the series of like free homeschooling curriculum and where you can find free resources. And when I print those things out for the videos for you guys, I use those. I don't just print off a bunch of random stuff that I'll never use. I print off stuff that I know I can use. So we've been playing different games and putting things together using those printed materials. But other than that, we haven't really added anything else in. So, like I said, my daughter's 5, so we're already doing more than we need to in each day, but she likes it. She wants to do things, and when she doesn't want to do them, we can leave some of those things out, The hardest part is when she doesn't want to do math, but she wants to do science. And it's like, okay, we can do that, that's fine, but you can't just stop doing math for like an extended period of time. Like, to me, we need to continue with the, you know, basics of math and language arts to keep us on track for the whole year. But that is how our first quarters looked. We are, like I said, we're halfway through language arts. We're about a fifth of the way through, I would, well, yeah, about a fifth of the way through math. We're 6 weeks into the 100 Acre Wood curriculum. We're probably about halfway through our history curriculum. We're probably about, what did I say there were? We're on the 2 out of 5? Maybe a third. Maybe we're a third through our science. So it's all over the board. We're not going to finish anything at the same time as we finish anything else, and that's okay. Thank you so much for watching.